bit, quiet here. Mm-hmm. It's like really
Was quiet.
quiet.
Attention. Convoy entering the sector in 5 minutes.
Gridlock and Mozzie in pursuit. Out. Gridlock, deploy tracks.
Rosie the Riveter is a popular symbol for women being strong, capable, and dependable. That when the going gets tough, women aren't afraid to get going. All the women in Rainbow are solid soldiers who have faced their own trials and difficulties, more than demonstrating strength of arm, sight, and skill. But there are few who can demonstrate a strong sense of character like Tori Farias, also known as Gridlock. Tori is the eldest of 5 siblings and was raised on out-of-the-way farm where her military father, who worked as an aircraft mechanic, instilled her with an interest in engineering and machinery. When she reached high school, she began participating in robot championships and competitions to test her skill. During these high school competitions, she apparently met her best friend and later partner in Rainbow, Max Goose. Reportedly, Gridlock was often there to help fix Max's robots when they weren't working, and Max, being the creative daredevil he was, always loved cooking up new ideas and battering away in the championship. These two would become inseparable friends. To further her mechanical engineering skill, Tori joined the Australian Army Reserves, and, after graduating from university, she joined the Australian Defence Force, where she could not only enhance her considerable mechanical skill, but also help people. However, being a soldier requires more than mechanical knowledge, so Tori began learning her way around weapons proficiency, intel gathering, and protection detail. She possesses an impressive ability to adapt to unexpected situations and remain calm when things get tough. This was demonstrated when her father passed away and her family farm ran into financial trouble. Rather than panic, she reached out to her siblings and extended family and used their help and their own finances from the military to help save her home from being sold. This ability to be cool and decisive in harsh scenarios earned her a place in the SASR Mobility Platoon, along with her friend Max Goose, who would both go on to earn the nicknames Gridlock and Mozzie. While with the SASR, she and Mozzie both took part in the Esperance bushfire operation. In 2015, a series of horrific bushfires cropped up in the Esperance region of Western Australia. Several firefighters were trapped in the inferno, and thanks to a clever, if very outlandishly reckless strategy by Mozzie and Gridlock, both operators were able to rescue the firefighters and were awarded national emergency medals. Though Gridlock has been offered numerous promotions to lead positions and titles, Gridlock has little interest in any of them. Gridlock isn't all that interested in status or rank, or those heavy responsibilities that come with them. Gridlock is a down-to-earth and very pragmatic woman. Though she says leadership positions are too much paperwork for her, in reality she's actually a natural leader, and is liked by most who work alongside her, most of all Mozzie. The two were both invited to join Rainbow at the same time, and Harry was very interested in how close they worked together. He was even more interested to see what would happen when pit against one another. Would their duty override their friendship? And over the course of their time together, both have proven that they can be competitive against each other, though both are often found drinking together after hours. Gridlock's personality can be best understood not quite as motherly, but more as practical and compassionate. Like a caring aunt who feigns disinterest, but in truth wants nothing more than to see her family prosper. As one who had to look on over the 4 younger siblings in her life, as well as take care of her father's farm, Gridlock is not afraid of hard work and responsibility, and she extends her concerns and compassion to her comrades in Rainbow as well. Which is why, during the Nighthaven incident, where Kali cut ties with Rainbow and took several operators alongside with her, Gridlock was not surprised but quite disappointed. She had a bad feeling about the whole affair, and though she didn't resent Kali, she also knew she wasn't long for Rainbow. Gridlock could recognize Kali as a woman who, like her, was good at taking what she wanted and was accustomed to self-preservation. But Gridlock also knew that Kali was a loose cannon, someone who would go off the reservation for her own ends, and that's never a good fit for Rainbow. What did bother her was how many of her comrades left with her. It also didn't help that Kali had evidently insulted Mozzie at some point during their time in Rainbow, and that's never a good idea if you want Gridlock on your side. Gridlock currently serves under Thermite and Red Hammer Squad, where her engineering skills allow for brutal but effective advantages to her squad to maintain her Rainbow family. Gridlock is a big woman in body and spirit, and woe to the fool who stands in the way of this outstanding Aussie operator. In terms of her gadget, Gridlock's gadget is her track stinger devices. She's equipped with 4 of these at the start of the round. They are deceptively easy in use, but their versatility is outstanding. Gridlock deploys the track stingers by throwing the devices at a fixed location on the ground. From that location, there will spawn a maximum of 19 hexagon-shaped stingers, one after another in an overall hexagonal shape. These stingers appear like spiderwebs on the ground with needles pointing up from the devices. These stingers can easily cover a hallway or doorway in seconds, thus creating excellent entry denial for defenders attempting to flank. The stingers function like barbed wire by slowing down an opponent and making noise, but the stingers will also do 10 points of damage to a defender who steps on them. Because the stingers are not released by electricity, mute cannot jam their deployment, and the stingers can only be countered by explosions or bullets, which will give away the location of defenders trying to remove the traps. This gadget is an outstanding counter to roamers and flankers like Kavera, whose silent set will be cancelled if she steps on the stinger. With this gadget, Gridlock can effectively shut down entire areas of entryway. And that's just one of the best things about her. I really like her gadget. It's simple to use, cannot be jammed, and can control entryways and exit points for defenders to move around with, and attackers are completely immune to it. Don't ask me how that works, it's just video game logic.
Getting a sit rep. Someone enters in position.
Track stingers active.
But aside from her gadget, she has a very nice loadout. Gridlock is equipped with 2 primary weapons and 3 secondary weapons to choose from. Her first primary weapon is the F90 assault rifle, a pretty standard bullpup assault rifle with below average damage per shot, but compensates by having a higher than average fire rate compared to other assault rifles. It has a slight damage drop off and has a very manageable recoil. It requires only 3 hits to down most light or medium armored operators and requires 4 for heavy operators. A pretty standard one to use, and unfortunately not a lot of people do know about it because people prefer her other primary.
Cover the diffuser. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Her other primary is the M249 SAW LMG, a monster of a machine gun with a high magazine capacity, high damage capability, and a controllable recoil for excellent accuracy. It has a quick reload time, which makes it easy and safer to unload a magazine quickly and reload rather than with other large LMGs like Maestros, but the downside to this gun is its pitiful rate of fire. However, given the other benefits of this gun, it's a nightmare to come up against anyway. I highly recommend it. An excellent weapon for this meaty operator.
Track stingers active.
Op 4 eliminated.
In terms of her secondaries, she has the SDP 9mm handgun. An ideal handgun to be sure. It has an above average damage per shot, able to down most operators in a 3-round burst at optimal range. It has a fast tactical reload speed and boasts a high magazine capacity, making this the ultimate choice alongside the PMM for speedy reloads. It's actually my first choice when playing Gridlock because, well, her other secondaries aren't that great.
Damage to facilities immediately.
She has a super shorty shotgun, and it's more of a meme gun, if anything, only truly effective at close range and at blowing holes in hatches or walls. The super shorty has a quick pump cycle and has some utility in opening lines of sight, but otherwise it's not a great option. It has a low damage shot per pellet, a steep damage drop-off rate, and with a very small magazine capacity. It can only fire 3 shots before it's empty, and it lacks the range of any other shotgun. This gun is only effective when up close with the opponent, and such instances will be few and far between. I know it's a meme weapon and lots of people enjoy it, but if I'm being honest, you're probably better off from just taking the SDP. The only reason I would take this shotgun is to blow a hole in a wall or hatch and use it to release my stingers through the hole. That's the only reason.
Mission details are always confidential. Only discuss them with officers.
And then her other secondary is the Gone 6 hand cannon. I've talked about this one previously in Dokkaebi and Lion's videos. I stand by my previous statements. It's entirely situational and simply not worth removing a secondary fallback weapon in a tight situation. Carry at your own risk. The best strategies I can think of to go with Gridlock is to remember this. Gridlock is a queen of entry denial and slowing defenders. A tactic that was first introduced to me by Russian Badger was who was able to use smoke grenades to enter the objective room, drop traps around you, and then deploy the diffuser, then back off. The defenders will rush to the traps to take out the diffuser and do damage to themselves in the process, or waste their time trying to remove the traps first. Either way, this buys you time. But before even reaching the objective, I find it's often a good idea as you get close to the objective to throw traps behind you so a roamer hoping to outflank you has something to think about. If you're near the objective and are afraid of a peeker or a hidden enemy, toss traps in the area you think that they are and wait to see what happens. If they start shooting the traps, then you know they're hiding nearby, and you can handle the situation better. I also recommend working alongside hard breachers like Thermite or Hibana, who can make holes to enter an objective and also for you to deploy your traps. In conclusion, Gridlock is the butt of a lot of jokes because of her weight and size, and for her more masculine-like features. Lark has pointed out, however, that this is nothing to be undone by, as such size and personality may indicate a proclivity towards outdoor cooking and barbecue, which is never a problem at all. As far as her lore and abilities go, she's all around rather solid. Strong defending operator with good primary guns and one reliable secondary, a very effective gadget that can shut down entryways for defenders, and lore that, while not really dripping with depth, is still good enough for me to earn a pass. I mean, I like Gridlock. I think she's a good character. A little underappreciated next to her far more popular partner Mozzie, but still very much a great operator to add to your roster. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.
Gridlock and Mozzie in pursuit. Out. Gridlock, deploy tracks.